It's coffee break. Wow. Okay, this week nothing happened because it was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So we're just going to talk about our Thanksgiving. It was quiet, and that was it. Okay, guys, see you next week.
All it is because this is the second to last coffee break of the year, right?
Of the season and of the year.
Yeah, so we're just waiting around for the Game Awards.
Not only that, Creature Commando's out Friday on HBO Max. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that question.
Yeah. It's just nothing's coming out. Everything will come out, and nothing new is being announced or revealed.
I mean, we only watched Santa Claus 2.
We did. We watched The Santa Claus, and The Santa Claus 2. And I forgot how much more terrible the second one is.
It's horrible.
It's not even close to being like
Charlie's
the same.
a thug.
Well, like it's so like in the first one was like it's a story about a dad and his kid and their relationship, and the second one it's like antics. Oh wow, Disney Channel, whatever.
Yeah.
Not bad, but definitely not as good.
We saw Alien Romulus finally.
We did. It was amazing.
It's okay.
It changed my life. I will think about horror differently now. It was really good.
Yeah, no, it's a really good film. It's just humans.
I don't want to spoil anything because I really highly recommend watching it completely blind and just having the adventure of it. But the thing that happened at the end, the creature thing that happened at the end, amazing.
Yep.
Took my breath away. Oh my god.
Yeah, I would like to talk about that further. But then we also saw Harry Potter 5.
Yep, we've been going through them.
Well, we already did 1 before last time. We haven't watched any TV shows except for Great British Bake Off.
Yeah, which is great.
Yep.
There's also that Harry Potter baking show. We've been slowly dipping in and out. It's just so... Every time they do one of these, the, like, production level's really impressive.
Yeah.
But the contestants are so, like, not fun to follow around. And I get it that they have to stay on topic of Harry Potter the whole time. Mm-hmm. But after a while, you get kind of sick of hearing them exclusively talk about how much they really love Harry Potter.
Yeah. Or like when one of them knows a curse or spell.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? What a nerd.
It's when they'll know the answer, and they'll be excited because they know the answer. And then it's immediately followed up with that, like, kind of embarrassed giggle.
Yeah.
Because they know it's kind of nerdy to know the answer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're gonna, like, be all out. Don't be you're already on the whole baking show for this.
Look, there's a fine line between fandom and Naruto. and I'm pointing out at Naruto fans because you freak me out.
Everyone went to school with someone who wore a Naruto headband or the cape with the clouds. Yeah. I think the villains wear it or something.
Yep.
And I like Naruto too.
Everyone likes Naruto. It's just you don't see me walking around with a straw hat.
Yeah. I'll have a shirt with like a Pikachu printed on it, but I'm not gonna come in with like Pokeballs on my hip.
Yeah. Like it's too far. It's too much.
I think the judges on this Harry Potter baking show are a nice balance.
Oliver
and Carla. Carla's cool.
Oh, you're talking about the judges. I'm thinking of the hosts.
No, not the twins, James and Oliver.
Yeah, James and Oliver Phelps.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, it's Phelps. Because I was like, what? Okay. I know Michael Phelps, and then I see them as Phelps, and I'm like, I don't equivalate.
Everyone with the last name must be related.
Well, I was like, I guess it's a British name.
I have no idea.
But then I think of Michael Phelps smoking weed with his classroom and ASU, and he got in trouble after he just won all those Olympic awards. And I'm like, that's actually pretty funny.
It was such a big deal.
It was, and it's like he's an Olympian and he's just hanging out with his.
I'm like, it's not steroids. What does it matter?
Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, the actual judges who like do like eat the food and like are chefs.
Yes.
They have a nice balance with it where they like lean into the fun and the whimsy, but then they also are like, we're here to talk about real baking.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
There's that one team who always wins. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I understand this is their first season and probably their only season of doing this.
Uh-huh.
But it's clear that that's the winning team.
There's leagues ahead.
Yeah.
Like, the things they've made, like the other teams are cool, but these guys are on another level.
Well, you're also asking, it's not just a baking show. What they are asking of you is to do full-on sculptures and moving pieces. It's almost like the baby version of Buddy from Cake Boss.
Yeah.
Where I watched a lot of Cake Boss when it was really popular before he injured himself.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still going. But watching Buddy build that team in the first few seasons and then the things that they made after that,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I get it. It's a lot of fondant.
But yes.
Fondant and fireworks, but they are capable of doing these things. It's inevitable. Inedible.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The first thing they made was like a horse-shaped Patronus that looked like a horse and a Patronus.
Yeah.
And it's like the others are just not on the same level as these guys.
No, you're a sculptor more than a baker. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. And back to Buddy, when it came to those unique designs, like the floral patterns or just trying to figure out the sculpting, he hired a sculptor.
Yeah.
He's still there with them.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And yeah, he just sculpts sugar. Mm-hmm. And that's a whole career. We found out there was this one cooking show, to take this a little further, to what extent you can go with baking, where the guy was glass blowing heated up sugar to create glass orbs that were ornaments for a Christmas tree.
That are like edible because it's just all sugar.
Yeah.
Sometimes chefs are
hinged.
Yes.
Chef's Table is an example of that. Mm-hmm. And I think of that one chef. The pastry chef.
Yeah. Who made like
he was like, what if food floats? And then he made an edible balloon.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I guess we did everything now.
We've reached the limit of what humans can succeed.
Yeah. Now, is the show entertaining? I guess.
The sets are the most interesting part, I will say.
Yeah, like they're hanging out on Diagon Alley.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the two hosts,
yes,
underutilized. Like, I get the feeling they don't really know what to do with themselves, because I would have expected more just antics of them. Like, a bit like, to bring it back to Great British Bake Off, like, you'll just see Noel and Allison just running around being little assholes in the background or whatever. I just expected more of them to do that.
Yeah. It's weird because it's a British production company.
But for American TV.
And
that's where a lot of the differences come in, especially with their reality shows.
Yeah, and you've been talking about this a lot with Ghosts.
Yeah, I just keep getting comments on my Ghosts video comparing the US versus UK version of Ghosts. Most people totally chill. Like, they'll be like, yeah, I prefer one over the other. Certain British people are they need to figure out how to regulate their emotions better.
Yeah. So, there is no script for this one, so we're going to freebase it. Hopefully it's a much shorter one. And the whole hopes and efforts of doing this is not only to squeeze out another just fun episode before we get to the true finale, which again, Creature Commandos and the Video Game Awards.
The big one. The big deal.
Which the question this week will be about it, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
If you don't want to listen to this because there's no real information coming out, no new information.
This is no different than any other episode of Coffee Break we've done.
I was just gonna cut to the chase and just be like, okay, I promised you guys a Krampus review. It's coming. Sorry, I was tired. It was a holiday. Give me a break.
I don't blame you.
And then the next one, so that will be Saturday, and then the next one Tuesday, because they usually come out on Tuesday, which will be the Rankin Bass Hobbit.
Yeah.
That is the fully animated Hobbit from the 60s, 70s.
I'm excited. I've never seen this one before.
You've never seen this one? Yes, we have.
No, we haven't.
I've shown you this one.
No.
This is the one I grew up off of. This one I know the most.
I've seen like clips from it and stuff.
Oh, dude, it's so amazing.
I'm excited because
It's
I
so
love
good.
rotoscoping, and
Okay.
there's so much rotoscoping.
Yeah, no, the animation's amazing. And it tells the story of the Hobbit, but they took out a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I can't wait.
All right, and then we'll talk about that next week. More Assassin's Creed on the way. You have something?
Yes.
Go.
I'm finally getting to the Ironwood versus Watts analysis video. This was supposed to happen a while ago.
Oh my god, we're so excited.
Disney took longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, it did.
Whoops. But it's going to be really fun. And also something else is going to happen this week. You'll have to wait and see what that is, though.
Okay,
Surprises.
Nice.
Secrets.
So we got through that holiday, Thanksgiving,
Yep.
if you're here in North America with us. That sucked.
It wasn't great.
No, I did not enjoy that too much. It was a nice quiet day.
It was.
I made turkey burgers. And we watched TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched the parade.
Yeah, oh my god, the parade. There we go.
It was okay.
I took Barry on a long walk.
Uh-huh.
Because I was like, it's a holiday. Like, nothing's going to happen. And I totally forgot on this walk that every Thanksgiving morning I watched the parade. I just completely forgot about that. And when I came home, you had it on.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so cool.
I was
Yep.
with it. I was ready.
And then, we just sat there and watched the whole parade.
Yeah, because they delayed because of the weather.
Yeah, usually I'm late for the parade because we're East Coast.
What are we gonna do?
West
Yeah.
Coast, sorry. They're East Coast, we're West Coast.
Wake up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
No.
And they got delayed because of rain.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of rain.
You could tell it was interrupting certain performances.
It
Like
did.
the one lady who just had like a table, and you could kind of feel like there was supposed to be more happening, but I think they toned it down because of the weather.
Yep. There was a ballet. I want to say ballet, but there was 2 trained dancers during one performance
Yeah.
who were on the ground with the singer.
Uh-huh.
And we were focusing on the singer while they were like spinning around dancing. And one of the shots you can see when the guy left her on the ground and he was supposed to like kind of flail out his leg.
Yeah, do like a flourish.
Yeah. He ate shit.
I think that was the Kinder Egg float. That one was really confusing because, like, it's Kinder Eggs, the chocolate with a toy, and then there's a bunch of kids dressed up as Kinder Eggs, and then there's just like this country singer guy who was like covered in tattoos, twiddling away on his guitar, and then there's also these 2 like ballet dancers, and I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah. None of the performances made any sense. Dasha?
I have no idea.
Dasha.
I don't know.
She showed up. She has that new song, Austin. It's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
the only country song of today that I actually like.
Yeah.
It's because it tells a great story and it's very rhythmic. Mm-hmm. It's very nice. She showed up with all her backup dancers, but she was dressed completely different than them.
Yeah.
Some people said it was scandalous. I don't agree.
Yeah, it was just no different than Taylor Swift at that point in time.
And I was just like, I don't understand. What's the correlation between her wearing like a nice dress, skimpy dress
It's like
under
a fur.
a fur Santa coat, and then everyone else is dressed up like Jessie from Toy Story.
Yeah, and they all have like a big old choreography, and she's not,
Yeah, she's not, and
and she's just in the middle of it.
yeah, you're just like, what was this supposed to be?
There was this one just kind of annoyed me, because it was like confusing. It was Minnie's boat. She always has her like, she's like the captain of the boat and
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, on the boat, there was a couple of characters, and I kept being like startled whenever they were revealed.
Oh my! Why did they choose these
Okay,
characters?
so first it's like Jasmine and Aladdin. I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you see Belle by herself. And
But-
I guess we
not-
couldn't get the Beast.
but Belle not in her ballroom dress.
No.
Belle, early movie.
Yeah.
With her blue like hoodie.
Yeah. And then there was like another princess. I don't remember which one. And then in the front, it's Black Panther and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are they doing? And then off to the side, like all the girls were paired with their princes, except for Belle, who was by herself. And also Mirabelle was there with Bruno. And I'm like, that's her uncle.
Oh, and the kid from Coco.
Yeah.
Where he had just a mask of the kid from Coco.
It was so confusing. And I was like, well, I don't understand. I don't understand so many of the decisions we've made here.
Yep. Goku, Luffy, Pikachu all made their way through really quickly.
Yep.
They're like, we know these guys. Yeah, I missed when Santa came in, but pretty much it was over. It just kept raining throughout the whole thing.
He's also always at the very end. Oh, the
well,
woman...
No, that's the point.
Well,
he ushers Christmas in.
The woman who played Mrs. Claus, in The Bear, do you remember the, like, shorter Hispanic lady? She calls him Jeff in The Bear, like the TV show.
Is this the one where in the latest season there was a flashback episode with...
Yeah, and it was like her backstory.
Yeah.
She was Mrs. Claus this year.
Oh, nice.
It was cute. She looked like she was having the time of her life.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong doing the parade or keeping this tradition going. It was just the rain messed it up so much that the performances weren't there.
Yeah, my biggest thing is I have a bit of a personal gripe with balloons.
Okay.
It's because they take so much helium and... Like, we use helium for other things, like scuba diving. It's pretty important, actually, and that's why it's so expensive. Like, I used to work with balloons, and people would be so annoyed at how expensive it was.
Yep.
And they're like, it's just a little bit of plastic. And I'm like, yeah, the balloon's plastic, but the helium is, like, becoming more and more of a rarer thing, because we're wasting it on stupid things like a balloon because you want a floaty, shiny thing for your 3-year-old's birthday. And then they would stare at me all sad, and I'd be like, here's your balloon.
Okay, so helium is a rare... What is the word for that?
Commodity was what I thought of, but I'm like, I don't think that's the right word.
We're running out of it.
Yes.
And that's clearly going to be a problem. I don't know about the scuba divers because you shouldn't be in the water. Let's just be honest.
If there was something
Megalodon's
about it.
real. Stop messing around. There's underwater cities of aliens. We got it. Let's just focus on ourselves, okay? When it comes to balloons, eventually we'll just get rid of balloons and we're just going to use drones.
Yeah, honestly.
That's going to be the future. It's just stop using these archaic things, you know? Mm-hmm. Like... How much more plastic are we going to use?
I know. It's so annoying.
I look at a toy and I sometimes wonder this, and I'm probably really insane that I even have this thought, but I'm like, how many more toys were mushed down to make this new toy?
It's when you open the toy and then you get like 90% of the plastic wrapped around it is just garbage that gets thrown away.
Yes.
I hate that. I worked at an Old Navy or something for like a week. It was terrible. But every single individual shirt, pants, pair of socks, shoes, every single thing in that store individually wrapped in plastic. And that infuriated me, that I'm going through plastic after plastic, hundreds upon thousands of pieces of plastic, because every single shirt needs to be individually wrapped for just so we can stack them on top of each other and throw them into the corner of the store. I'm like, that's stupid. I hate that.
Well, that's why you left, right?
Well, there's many reasons why I left. The fact that they only give me like 12 hours for 2 weeks.
No, the most important thing to know about that job with you is that was your last job in the workforce.
Yep, before I committed full-time to YouTube.
Yep. And then now you have Judgmental Critter because of how bad Old Navy was.
Thanks, Old Navy.
Yeah, the parade, it was fine.
Yeah.
You went upstairs to keep working because you're a workaholic.
Yep, I can't help it.
And I was like, okay, I guess I'll stay downstairs. And at one point I was like, I guess the football game's on, so I'll watch that. And I forgot who was playing. It's the Lions.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. It was the halftime show. We got the halftime show, which was interesting because it was Shibuya?
Shibuya? What? Who?
So, yeah, it's this black country singer.
Okay.
Hip-hop country. And when he started doing his thing, because you know when they do the halftime shows, it's like a rendition of like a collage, a mirage
Yeah.
of their songs, right?
Like the greatest hits.
Like Spotify's trying really hard to work on this to blend it all together. And oh my god, I didn't realize I knew a lot of his work. It was like The Weeknd, where I was like, oh, you did this song?
Nice.
And yeah, it was just a really cool standout performance. And it was one of the things talked about over the weekend. Was
Cool.
like how awesome he did on Thursday.
And I feel like so many halftime performances are just ignored. So that's nice.
Yeah, no, it was really fun.
Cool.
It was fun to see that. Yeah, then the weekend happened.
Yes. Are we ready to talk about it? About the one thing that happened.
Okay, before we do that,
Okay.
there are more rumors about the Switch 2.
Oh, really?
Okay. Again, take this with a grain of salt. From the article I was reading, they're like, we can't verify any of this. We don't know even where this is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But what they were reporting was summer next year.
Yeah.
It will be between like 415 to 525 US dollars.
Okay.
It is slightly larger in size, but
Wow.
we don't know that for sure because these are Chinese knockoffs for like accessories. And one of the other things, they said there were 6 major production teams working on title drops.
Wow. 6?
Yeah, so we already know of Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
We could assume Metroid 4.
Yes. We could assume Smash Brothers?
No,
I don't know.
they said no more.
They said that, but
Yep.
they say a lot of things.
They do. I would like to see a Mario Kart before a Smash Brothers.
I'd like to see just another Mario, like whatever's after Odyssey. I didn't like Odyssey very much.
What do you mean? You got RPG, Paper Mario remake,
Yeah, but the
Paper Mario
Yeah, but the-
sequel.
the platformers, the 3D adventure platformers.
What about Friendship,
Yeah, Brothership.
Brothership? Yeah.
But that's a Mario and Luigi game. That's a completely different thing.
Okay.
You need to know your Mario lore, brah.
I would have said Zelda, but they just came out with this one.
Yeah, it'll probably be like, if anything, it'll be kind of like Echoes of Wisdom, where it's like a spin-off Zelda. But I wouldn't hold my
No,
breath.
no, don't
Oh.
expect Zelda.
100% Kirby, because they always have Kirby, because there's always a million Kirbys.
I don't want Kirby. I don't like Kirby.
I know. I like Kirby, but I don't want more Kirby. I'm very content with Kirby Superstar Ultra.
Look, I just want Star Fox. Mm-hmm. You could just bring him back. It's so easy. It's not even like it would be that hard to do.
And F99, F099, the best video game ever.
Yeah, some franchises are just lost forever. Mr. Game & Watch, Bird
Mother.
Dog, Mother,
Did you say Bird Dog?
Duck Hunt, Bird Dog.
I mean, I knew what you meant.
That's my redneck way of saying that.
That's like the knockoff version of it. Bird Dog.
Isn't that just
Green
called
elf.
Hunt? So yeah, I just wanted to say that. Like, okay, summer kind of makes sense. I've seen consoles drop in the summer.
I don't know about that price point, but I guess,
Well, supposedly they have said that this is going to be the most expensive console.
yeah.
Because they're talking about putting the power of a PS4 in your hands. Mm-hmm. With updated graphics and everything. And you can dock it and have a home console.
I wonder how big it'll be. I'm fine with it being bigger.
I think the screen will be about the same size as your Steam Deck.
Because I don't know if I said this on stream, but the Steam Deck is surprisingly comfortable despite how big it is. So I'd be fine with it.
Which the Switch Lite is terrible.
It's you really crunch up. I think I did talk about this last week. But yeah.
Well, I talked about playing Resident Evil 6 on the Switch. Mm-hmm. I finished Leon story mode. And then I finally figured out how to really play the game on the Switch.
Nice.
Because you only have so many buttons. And it's too small.
It can be, yeah.
It's tiny.
I've been playing Persona 3, and yeah, I feel very claustrophobic sometimes.
Yep.
But I don't know if it's because it's Persona 3 Classic, not the new one. It's Persona 3 Portable.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just because it's an older game, and so things were always kind of smaller back then.
Yep.
Or if it's the Switch itself.
Well, I've had this fun little problem where I have to press L3 to run, right?
Yeah.
And when I press L3, you have to press it in while shifting it forward.
Yep.
Right? When you do that, you naturally are putting leverage on your wrist. And your wrist is holding the entire console, which is your screen. So now your screen is no longer facing you while you're trying to run. You have this new dilemma of trying to hold your hand steady while running to keep your screen steady to be pointed in your face. It's not something anyone would have really thought about.
And it's something that could have been so easily fixed if they just let you allocate the buttons yourself. Do your own button mapping. Like,
yes.
I wish
well,
they
it's
had
a 2012 game, so and it's a port of it.
Yeah. But I remember a similar thing with the 3DS. Ocarina of Time on the 3DS.
Yep. That was shitty.
It had that gyroscope thing where if you move it was specifically your slingshot. And I was fighting Goma.
Yep.
And you use your slingshot.
Yep.
But
and
every
you're,
time
like, pointing at the ceiling.
But every time you hit A, it adjusts. So you need to adjust yourself. And then you hit A. Yeah, I'm sitting there pointing at the ceiling, trying to actually hit Goma. And I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah. There's a point where interaction with video games is not fun.
It does not need to be in every game.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll learn more about the Switch 2.
Yeah.
But they were saying because it's a summer drop, this would explain why they're not talking about it.
I'm annoyed that they announced Pokemon Legends Zaw and have been radio silent.
Well, here's the thing. Next week is Game of the Year Awards.
Yes.
Next week is the week to drop any info.
Yeah, and you know, Nintendo doesn't always play around with what other people are doing.
No.
But hopeful. I could be hopeful.
I would hope they would look at what happened last year and be like, oh, it was really positive, so let's join. They should. They very much are part of it.
Be team players, Nintendo.
You guys are basically the foundation of everyone's love for video games.
They used to do a lot of crazy stuff. Like Nintendo of America, there was all kinds of like little videos and things they would do.
Yeah.
Reggie was always there saying his catchphrase. My body is ready.
I am expecting some sort of Nintendo thing. I would say this is the time to do Pokemon. And watch, Resident Evil 9 will not be announced. I feel it in my bones. I'm willing to accept that this game doesn't exist.
We'll see. I don't want to believe that. God, I was thinking about Resident Evil just in general.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it.
Every day.
It's so much fun.
It
so
is.
good.
I love it.
So, are we ready to talk about the thing?
Okay. Well, can I start it off for you?
Yes.
The long-awaited, anticipated, overly dramatically beloved story of Snow White.
Yep.
Finally making itself a live-action remake.
Yeah.
With the most creative director we could have possibly found in any of the dead alleys of Hollywood. Mark Webb, who's also famously known for directing the beloved and definitely not hated The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. So,
he's done no work since.
I really wanted to be hopeful. I really, really wanted to be hopeful. There's not a single thing about this trailer that I like at all.
Dude, I'm more in it for just what a shit show this is going to be.
Oh my god,
This is... Disney's your thing. We all know that.
This is my area of expertise.
Yes, so you go ahead. You take it.
I don't know where to even begin. First of all, it's ugly. Like, it's all CG, and it's all bad CG. And it's really ugly. It was the little animals hanging out with her. And I was sitting there and I'm like, we couldn't get anything real. Even the deer had to be CG'd. We couldn't get a real deer. I remember Dr. Dolittle. He hung out with all kinds of animals. And that movie was from the 90s. This is 2024. We can't get animals anymore.
Okay, so the stylistic look of it is very reminiscent of that Tim Burton all CGI. Alice in Wonderland is the one we like to point at, but don't forget Dumbo is also there.
Yeah, Oz the Great and Powerful.
Oz the Great and Powerful, which I mentioned his Alice in Wonderland. Like, it looks like crap because it's all CG. This follows suit with that.
Yeah.
And it does not look pretty.
It's all gray in the kingdom.
Yep. I'm glad that you got Gal Gadot. Probably every middle-aged man's, like, wet dream.
Yeah.
Which, I get it. She's kind of attractive.
I don't know. She's not a very good actress.
No, she's not. She never was. It's only because of how attractive she is and that she's French. She has that accent.
Yeah.
That's why Zack Snyder got her to play Wonder Woman. That's really the thing there. He knew what men like. Clearly, he knows. And you've covered up
Oh, yeah.
99% of her
She's in this
body.
just box.
Yeah. And I get it. She looks like the wicked...
The evil queen.
Evil queen? Does she
Yeah.
have a name?
No. I called
Okay.
her Evelyn.
I'll call her Elphaba. Just because I messed it up last week. Thanks.
Classy. No, I don't. Neither of them seem good at all. Gal Gadot is not doing a very good performance at all. She's not threatening.
No.
She's not smart or wicked or she's
Not
not
wicked.
she's not conveying anything. She just seems like a person saying lines,
Yeah.
which I would expect better from, I don't know, Disney. And Rachel Zegler, who I haven't liked any of her performances before, just doesn't seem, she seems so lost on what to do with Snow. I'm kind and quiet, and that's it. And I'll stare and smile, and that's it. Like, can I have a little bit of a personality? Even classic Snow White had a personality.
The song.
Yeah, a new song.
A new song. And it was clearly a new song because you can tell the people who wrote Frozen and Lin-Manuel
Miranda. Yeah.
are the only two groups of people who know how to write songs in Disney right now.
Yeah.
Because everything else sounds like basically the garbled up garbage of Wish. And that's what it sounded like. I was really hoping that was like some BS track they threw over, and then they showed us her singing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I don't want any of this.
I guess, I'm wishing for the one I love wasn't grand enough to be the big musical stinger for the end.
Which, the thing is, we learned about, and we've talked about covering songs. Mm-hmm. If you're going to do it, change it up, add your own flavor to it, right? Yeah. It's been almost 100 years.
Yeah.
You have so much space. The technology that we have to make music is infinitely better than whatever Walt Disney himself had.
Yeah. If we want to modernize these songs, we easily can.
Yeah.
We don't need to make new garbage songs.
No, you don't. And you can get that song and you can pelt them out, and you've got amazing singers from all across the world. There is no excuse.
No. God, no.
Now, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall.
Oh.
What a, lost cause.
That was when I just lost all hope the moment I saw the mirror.
When we were talking about it this morning, I got up and walked away from the coffee table to get more coffee. But I was really just upset because I was like, I don't understand. Wish was supposed to be this multiverse thing where it brought all of them together and then floundered that away. No pun intended. And
I wish Flounder was in it. That would have been a slightly more exciting.
And then to explain that the mirror on the wall is actually
Magnifico.
Magnifico, right? Mm-hmm. And to not have it be Magnifico, or just because it's live action, get Chris Pine.
As that would have been goofy, but also that's the kind of thing Disney should be leaning into.
That next level connection where you say Goofy, right? The fans would eat that up.
Like the moment someone goes, "Why is it Chris Pine?" and then you go, "Oh, well, because he voiced Magnifico."
Yeah,
and
he's the one.
Oh, that's actually fun.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden there's a lore, and yeah.
At the very least, and here's the thing: at the very least, just a human's face Because that's what the face in the mirror is supposed to be. A twisted, dark version of a face, but it's a person in there.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they went with this lazy, ugly CG thing is so boring.
Well, the worst thing is, does it look any better than what Shrek did?
No.
So,
No.
because when I saw it, I was like, well, Shrek ripped it off,
Yeah.
right? For obvious reasons.
And they did a funny thing with it.
And, yeah, pick number 3, my lord.
Making like a TV show host.
Yeah.
That's so
Like,
fun.
You could have done so much more, and you didn't. You just... Yep.
The magic mirror has so much limitless potential, and the fact that they feel beholden to stick to these nostalgic concepts because that's the only thing they're trying to sell this movie off of, even though they don't care about any of these nostalgic concepts, and you can tell because they look lazy and cheap and are just crappy CGI.
Yeah.
We could be doing so much more.
We could have been.
Oh, it annoys me.
Okay, and the dwarves.
Oh, man. Oh, man. This is like the worst possible outcome we could have gotten.
I don't know. We did get Snow White and the Huntsman.
As far as there was a still image of all the dwarves, and I could recognize Grumpy, Doc, and Dopey, and that was it. The other 4 might as well not even exist. Their names might as well be background character, background character, background character, background character.
Yep.
No personality. And I'm like, you're supposed to be the exaggerated, like, concepts of... They weren't even color-coded correctly.
No, they're not.
I couldn't even look at them and tell what color, like, based on... Even Wish did
It's
that.
hard to identify which one is which, except for the ones you called out. Mm-hmm. And even I struggled to figure that out. Dopey
Yeah.
and Happy. Because Happy's the one who's talking to her the most of the time.
No, that's Doc. Happy...
Is Doc not Happy?
Nope. Doc's Doc.
Okay. Well, it's been years since I've seen it. But yeah, Doc and Dopey.
Uh-huh.
Who are the most famous ones besides Grumpy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, everyone else, they look the same. Oh my god. Dopey.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
He looks like a racist caricature of a white person.
He looks like he stumbled off of the set of Polar Express. The one from like the 2000s.
Yeah, but like he went through Wonka's factory after he did that and then showed up on set and you're like, proportions are wrong.
It's so, I don't know, man. I'm annoyed, and I can already tell they're going to get rid of Grumpy's slightly misogynistic arc. If Sokka couldn't even be misogynistic in Avatar The Last Airbender's live action, they definitely aren't going to do that with Grumpy. But this is going to suck, because now his arc is probably going to be way less meaningful, and they're probably going to just ruin his arc entirely, if he even gets one.
Does it bother you they took that away from Sokka?
No, because he was only misogynistic for like 3 episodes in the original show.
Yeah, and that's when he meets her.
But like, it's still like, it tells you something about
The Water Tribe?
Yeah. It makes sense then later when they get to the Northern Water Tribe and they're like, no, girls can't learn to fight. And you're like, oh yeah, this was a thing. Sokka just grew out of it.
Okay. I was just thinking about Sokka himself. I was like, that's not who he is?
Yeah. I don't think it was
He's
as
cooler
big a
than that?
deal, but it could have done something with it.
You know what? I said finally. No. There's one more thing.
What?
Prince Charming
Yeah.
and the prophecy of how she has to save the kingdom. Oh my god. What the fucking fuck?
She's like standing there and...
What do you mean? That's not in any of the stories. Any of them.
How are they gonna have her,
Even the Grimm brothers didn't write about that.
How are they gonna have her, like, save the day and, like...
If she's sleeping.
Yeah, if she's asleep. They can't do both.
Yeah.
Unless she goes to sleep, wakes up, and then goes and fights the evil witch.
I can master poison now.
I guess no. It's so annoying. It's so annoying, and because the dwarves are the ones who kills her. They're the one who chases off the evil queen, and then she falls to her death. Mm-hmm. And it is important, because first of all, this concept of, in order for our heroine to be a cool badass, she needs to go do her own fighting. Yep. Not every girl wants to fight. And they shouldn't feel like they're less of a heroine just because they're not willing to throw blows at another person. Because there's strength and charm in other ways that makes you a good, strong, powerful person, like being intelligent or being kind. And that was one of Snow's original best qualities, is that she was inspiring. The dwarves had no interest in doing anything for anyone other than themselves.
Yes.
That's why they hid themselves away in the forest, because they did not want to deal with it. And she not only taught them to be better people, kinder people, but she inspired them to then throw themselves and fight this woman just because they could. And even though normally they never would have, but because Snow inspired them to, they did. And they put an end to the evil tyranny of the evil queen.
Yeah.
And they're going to completely throw that to the wayside and take away the power of inspiration by making her like, oh, I have a sword. I'm going to fight the evil queen myself or whatever.
So, this is a woke Disney remake. Watch a lot of people say that about it.
Probably.
I don't think it's a woke thing. I think it's just piss poor writing. And you've really, from what I'm seeing from the trailer and how much we know about film and how these stories go, it's not looking good.
No.
Speaking of that, Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that already.
No, we talked about Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, yeah,
but we didn't talk about who Jumba is.
We learned this morning.
Jumba will be... Oh, my God. Somebody farted.
It's the dog.
Oh.
It's been all day.
Oh, it's the worst.
He's been sitting next to me all day, just ruining.
It's like meat sticks that have been sitting in the sun too long.
Gross.
Oh. Anyways, Jumba will be voiced by Zach Galifianakis. And then Pleakley will be voiced by some
guy. Some
guy who does a lot of, like, dramas.
Yeah. Like, listen,
Well, hold on. Before we get there.
Uh-huh.
I forgot her name. She's the queen overlord of the Galactic Empire. The Empress, I think she is.
Uh-huh.
Right? She'll be in there.
Cool.
Stitch, of course.
Yep.
But Gantu has not been announced. And there is, like, very little time to be doing this. And I'm curious if Gantu is not part of the story. Gantu was her right-hand military guy who was sent to hunt down Stitch.
He's the main adversary of the movie.
When you see him, he's like an elephant whale.
Yeah, he's huge, isn't he? Gantu.
Yeah. And the fact that he hasn't been announced, I fingers crossed, but if he's not in the movie, I don't know what the hell this is.
I know, the fact that the fact that we haven't seen any other characters in any teasers or trailers is now starting to become a bit of a worry.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, like, the guy who's voicing Pleakley, I don't want to judge.
I'm sure he'll do great.
Because, like, I can...
He's a thespian.
I just watched Arcane, and the guy who voices Heimerdinger, a tiny little, like, gnome with a really high-pitched voice, the dude who voices him is, like, 6'4" and, like, a real big, burly guy. So you can do, like, impressive things. I don't want to judge. Yeah. But I think I know the range of Zach Galifianakis' voice performances. And I'm not thrilled at the prospect of him being Jumba.
Me either. Especially because I like Jumba.
Yeah.
And I don't like Zach.
No. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Worst part of The Hangover.
Yes. He just always plays the same character.
Yeah.
For a second, when you were telling me, I was picturing Josh Glad, and I'm like, okay, weird choice, but I get it. Yeah. And then I remembered which one Zach Galifianakis is, and I'm like, oh no. Oh no, this isn't good.
Why'd you think of Josh?
He does a lot of Disney stuff. He's Olaf. He was LeFou in live action.
I was thinking of Josh Peck.
We just never know the right person. We're just always
There's too many Joshes.
1 degree off.
Yeah. That would have been a
A great choice.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
He's supposed to be Quasimodo in the live action remake.
I know. And
Don't even quote me on this thing.
And the guy who's Frasier, Kelsey Grammer.
Yep, Kelsey Grammer will be Frollo.
Yeah.
Which
I think could be very good.
I mean, he's a hardcore Republican. It's gonna be an amazing performance. What do you mean? You can't laugh because it's true.
You're not wrong.
Dude, he's gonna have conviction. Yeah, so Snow White is not looking good.
Long story short, Snow White looks bad.
The National Film Registry?
Yeah?
They have declared Wicked as the best film of this year.
Good for hooray. Good
and
for
I was
them.
like, that's cute.
Not surprising. You know what? It is surprising. When we first were seeing like rumors and trailers and murmurings about it, it was very negative. You know, the concepts around it. Probably because the trailers did not show off a lot of good stuff and didn't reveal that it was a musical.
The fans truly knew. Mm-hmm. And then us who were curious were like, oh, it is a musical and it's coming. And there is a second part.
And now that it's this popular, get ready for 1 million musicals to start happening.
Yes.
If we're lucky, this might actually mean like future Disney movies, not Snow White, but future live action ones beyond this point might be good because they'll actually give a damn about its music.
You know what I would love to see? And it was the MCU's Marvels. Mm-hmm. Kind of hinted at this.
Yeah.
I would love to see an MCU musical.
That would be fun.
A whole movie that's just a musical.
I like musicals. I think they could be a lot of fun. Real good.
I think it would work really well with the superpowers and everything. You
Yeah.
get to get cool choreography.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a weird wish of mine.
They've done weirder, you know?
Yeah.
They could.
What else? Wicked. Wicked's doing great. Oh, of all the films, like there was only 3 films I could think of this year that were really big and top notch. And we started out the year with Dune 2.
Yeah.
Which we still haven't seen yet.
No.
And then there was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Hard to argue about anything there. And then you got Wicked.
Yes.
The most interesting thing to me about the box office is why are you going to drop Mufasa now when you got Moana, which is the largest opening of all time for any animated film. You got Wicked dominating.
And the same day Mufasa, Sonic 3.
Sonic 3, who has Keanu Reeves.
And everyone's excited for it.
Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba.
And Robotnik.
Yeah, and it's a video game movie.
And his family. Oh my goodness.
So you got an animated musical, you've got a live action musical, and you've got a video game CGI live action movie.
Highly anticipated.
So there's something for everyone. Why are you dropping Mufasa now?
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm very upset because I love The Lion King. It's very precious to me. And I do want to see Mufasa.
God, I saw a trailer today on YouTube. I was watching something, and then the trailer popped up, and I'm like, oh, I should pay attention a little bit. Oh, it just looks ugly. Yeah. It annoys me how ugly it is.
Yeah, so I'm not going to see that one in theaters, but I am curious why they would think it's okay to even release this movie, especially you already have Moana. That's a Disney film.
Yeah.
You don't need another one.
Wasn't this supposed to come out like in March or something?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and figure that out.
I thought it got pushed or something. I don't know, man.
That's okay. Next year, we're kicking it off with Snow White.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, I'm not... I don't want it. I was kind of into the idea of the 7 magical creatures, you know, rather than the 7 dwarves. I'm like, okay, sure. You know, it's not the best scenario. Hiring 7 actual little people would be the best scenario. But I guess if we're going to do something a little bit different, this isn't a bad direction. And then they chose the worst option. No little people, only ugly CG. Thanks, Disney.
Yeah. So I had 2 questions last week. And the first one is, which movie theater performance do you prefer? Relaxed and quiet, group audience, that's you with the group, or all of a sudden it becomes a group activity.
Yeah.
And then casual dining. Relaxed and Quiet took first place.
Yes. I bet if you made personal theaters, that would really pop off.
You can do that. You can rent out a theater.
Well, here's the thing. Rather than renting out the whole theater, if they had, like, separate rooms for, like, with, like, less chairs for, like, you and a smaller number of people, I think, rather than having... But still, like, the grandioseness of the big screen, I think that could really work.
Yeah.
Because the main thing most people don't like about theaters these days is other people. And that could fix the problem.
Well, I was thinking about, what's that movie? Goodfellas.
Okay.
Where he takes his wife, or his future wife, through the restaurant because the line's so long.
Yeah.
And he goes through the kitchen and he knows everybody.
And they, like, set up a whole new
they
table
move
just
things
for
around.
him.
They put the table there. And then everybody's, like, drinking and laughing and they're watching the show. It's like a comedy show.
Yeah.
Right? There is room for things to be like that. With casual dining in a group audience, that's the way you should do it. Now, if us...
Yeah.
We prefer to be still and quiet. We don't really want to interact with people. We want to engage with the media and see if it can hold our attention.
Yeah.
Because we're pretentious assholes about it.
We are.
And, I mean, you made a 5-hour video of Disney.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, I get it. Everyone has their difference of going through it. If I wanted to watch, like, an old comedy, I would love to be in a group with a bunch of people.
Sure.
You know, like, that was funny.
And I was like, I wish they would market the theater performance certain ways. You know, like if they could have a rerun of an old funny classic and be like, this is this kind of experience, and then you would get that kind of thing, and then they would have a different viewing of like a different movie and be like, this one's for serious, quiet audiences.
Yeah.
Pick which one you want. We need to adapt the whole theater system. I say.
Yeah.
It's very old.
It is. It's archaic. Now, one of you guys got really confused about this question. Like how Twitter is now called X, yet we still call it Twitter, what do you call this app? I'm asking, is it HBO or is it Max? 87% people said it's HBO.
Yeah.
We still call it HBO.
Which one was it? We watched something, and it still had the old HBO logo in the beginning.
Because they double backed down on HBO because they
Yeah.
realized the Max thing's not working.
It's not good, it's not memorable.
Nope.
It's ugly looking.
It is.
It's just the name of a man. If you type in Max, you're gonna get like Maximilian Goof or like Max May's younger brother from Pokemon. You're not, or the main character from Hocus Pocus. If you type in HBO, you're getting HBO. There's nothing else like it.
Yeah, in HBO, it holds its own clout. It is what it's going to be. The Penguin was HBO.
Yeah.
Dune Prophecy, no one's watching it. It's HBO.
Yeah.
White Lotus, which comes out next year in the spring.
I was just thinking about it the other day.
HBO.
Yeah.
What is it? The Night in the Seven Kingdoms, which is another prequel to Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Is HBO. Harry Potter will be HBO.
It's this thing, I really don't know why they wanted to change the name to something so unremarkable. So boring, so bland.
Because they wanted to market that it was Discovery with Max. Or with HBO. And that's the Max Extreme.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Very much like some crusty old executive who is a Nepo baby who didn't earn his position came up with this idea.
Well, yeah, just bad decisions made there. So box office trolls. We've talked a little bit about this. Moana 2, number 1. Okay.
Amazing. Surprising. Very middling reviews at best, from what I've heard.
It doesn't matter about the reviews. People are watching it.
Yep. So we'll get more and more movies like this.
Number 2, Wicked.
Good for them.
Number 3, Gladiator 2.
Good for them.
Number 4, Red 1.
Okay.
Number 5, the best Christmas pageant ever.
Sure.
Number 6, Bonhoeffer.
What?
Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah,
Pastor,
yeah.
Spy, Assassin.
Right. Good for them.
Number 7, Venom, The Last Dance.
Wow. Amazing.
Number 8, Heretic.
Sure.
Number 9, The Wild Robot.
It's 10 weeks in, still going strong.
Yep. And number 10, A Real Pain.
A real pain.
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's how you know you're like really reaching the like, oh, no movies are coming out, when it's like, I have no idea what that is.
Well, it's Oscar bait season.
Oh man, I hate Oscar bait movies. They always.
What do you think Wicked was?
They always. Well, at least it has a plot. Most of them is
Half
just
a
like.
plot.
Most of them is just like there's 900 million actors, and the plot of this movie is they kind of float around each scene, and then something happens in the end.
Nice. So we said this was going to be short, and we lied.
We always do.
That was great.
We're liars. We've lied to you.
Thank you.
You will never be able to trust us.
I guess I have nothing else to say after all that. Thank you guys for the entire year. This was really fun.
Next one, Game Awards.
This is the big one. If you guys don't watch it, that's on you.
Yeah.
I can't help you. But I know a majority of you will actually watch the Game Awards. I'm super excited. That's going to be the best Sunday Night Football game I've ever seen. God, I hope Resident Evil 9 is announced, but it's been years. And it's been a rocky relationship, and I just don't want to get my hopes up.
I know, especially after there's been like 20,000 like Resident Evil 9 rumors. I don't want to get my hopes up. I'm excited to just see it. Whatever happens, I'm excited to just see it.
Just know, if it does happen, and you see it, I am screaming
I hope
at the top of my lungs.
I hope someone's out there and they're watching the Game Awards and Resident Evil 9 gets announced and the first thing they think of is, oh, Rambo's gonna be so excited.
I'm gonna be pounding my fists in the concrete going, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
As for Game of the Year winners,
we'll see.
I think Astrobot's gonna take it.
Apparently Balattro's really good. Everything I've seen is people being like, I thought it was dumb and then I played it and I love it.
Yeah, that's cool, but it's not gonna be the Game of the Year.
No, but it'll sweep all the other categories.
And it's not gonna be Shadow of the Air Tree.
Yeah, Shadow of the Air Tree, yeah.
I can't get rid of it. The yawns. The yawns are not going away.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be the DLC because there's been too much push. And then it's not gonna be your card game.
No.
There's been a lot of push there. But it will win best for its own category.
Yeah, and probably best indie as well, or whatever.
Yeah, like, there's spots where it belongs. But I think it's going to be Astro Boy.
Yeah, maybe.
Wukong.
It'll get shafted. I'm pretty...
And he's got a big shaft. Well, hope you guys enjoyed Coffee Break.
Bye-bye.
Bye.